podcast. We have got two great guests in studio today, Dan Teuteberg and Jennifer Forster, and we're talking the Early Learning Coalition of Mason County. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on this Friday morning here. You can find the Mason County Early Learning Coalition on Facebook at facebook.com/Mason County ELC, and we'll put the links to that in the show notes. Yesterday, you guys had a gathering at the Colonial House, the Community Early Learning Celebration. Tell us about it.
Well, yeah, it was our very first annual Early Learning Celebration. It was an opportunity for everyone in the community to come together to learn about early learning and for us to showcase what we do, what our partners do, and how we're making a difference in Mason County.
Very nice.
When you talk early learning, how early is that?
That is birth to 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the different metrics that you use to help with early learning, and how do parents right out the gate start teaching their kids, and how's it working in Mason County?
We do a lot of work with agencies that work with those families. We look at a whole support system from the medical side to the family engagement side to the literacy side to the schools to community service groups, the libraries, anything like that where families have touch points. We want to connect those agencies together to really focus on supporting those families.
And how is the support structure in Mason County?
Wonderful, and we can always do better.
Okay.
That's why we're working on this.
Sure. So what brought about the first early learning celebration? I know you guys have been around for a while, but what decided you to put forth this thing at the Colonial House?
So we decided we wanted to bring the community together to talk about early learning and showcase early learning. And it just felt like a really good time. And we also were just having some organic conversations at our coalition meetings about the folks in our community that are really flying under the radar and doing some amazing stuff in early learning, and we haven't been able to showcase that before or talk about that. So we wanted to provide an opportunity and a platform for that, and that's where we came up with this idea.
What are some of those?
The two individuals or the two groups that we looked at focusing were Mary Halterman from the Timberland Library here in Shelton. She's done a tremendous job over the past 2.5 years focusing on putting family systems and working with those early learners and really restructuring the service learning, the youth services portion of the library services to really look at early learning and literacy and engagement. So we honored her yesterday at the event. And the other one we honored was an organization, the Mason General Hospital and Family Clinics.
Sure.
So they really focus their energies and talents on supporting prenatal and family support systems as well. And like Jennifer mentioned, kind of flew underneath the radar for quite a while. And we wanted to really showcase that and honor them by saying thank you.
You guys also do a couple of other things to help out the community as well. You have an event coming on June 15th, trauma-informed care in early learning. Where do you find the speakers and the programs that you bring into the community and talk about these things?
It's really a network of organizations that are together. So the Mason County Early Learning Coalition is part of a regional coalition called Visions for Early Learning. And that body really works with the Department of Early Learning in the state, as well as other regional coalitions across Washington. And we really pool resources and work with Thrive Washington, which is a nonprofit organization that really looks at the early learning systems as well. But that event on the 15th is going to be a wonderful showcase right here in Mason County. It's a free event for anyone who wants to learn about ACEs or resiliency and the science of hope.
What are some of the barriers to early learning that you guys here in Mason County think are the most easily or quickly fixed? What are some of the things that you guys can focus on quickly and see some real results?
That's a good question. The reason, one of the things that we do as a coalition is we come together once a year. Well, we come together every month, but once a year we do gaps analysis, which is what's happening in our community that's working really well and what isn't. And I got to say, this training on trauma-informed care is a result of what we might want to do more of, which is really inform our community about early learning, and not just early learning, but learning in general. And so we figure out what it is where the need is, what the need is, and then we work in collaboration with our regional partners to identify speakers to come in and help engage and inform our community. So that's just one example of a need an easy need that we see that we can meet right away. Then there's some more longer term struggles that we have with, and one of them is identifying and being able to secure providers, or those early learning providers, and that's an ongoing issue. Right. That we know, we identify, and we're doing our best to try to meet. We just do what we can.
There are a lot of challenges in the day-to-day lives of parents, especially young parents, as they kind of navigate work, and then now understanding they have another person living with them that they have to take care of. How is the engagement level for the parents from those kids from birth to 8, and how are you adapting to kind of the new normal of stranger than normal work hours and people available or unavailable on weekends and things like that?
We really work with the organizations that teach those parenting classes or help those parenting support systems. And what we try to provide are opportunities in our community where families can come together on a regular basis at low to no cost to have those opportunities to spend time together. It's easy to get stuck at work, or easy to get stuck at home on some type of electronic equipment and disengage. And we want to supply opportunities in our community here where they come together and have a hands-on learning activity, share a meal or a snack, and just have some fun together. We usually hold our annual Family Fun Fair in December at the Transit Center here as well, and that's a showcase of lots of organizations coming together to have a fun space for families just to be together.
And it's free, and it's so much fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's very cool. Well, that's pretty neat. So yesterday was the first one, and you'll do it again next year, I'm assuming.
We hope so.
Everything worked out just well.
Yep.
It is the Early Learning Coalition of Mason County on Facebook.com/Mason County ELC. We'll put the links to that here in the show notes today. Talking about and celebrating the early learning celebration that happened yesterday. Dan, Jennifer, thanks for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having us.